Hi, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Batcast, where I, Adam Upper, talk with Barry on Ketty to talk about Batman, the animated series. And this week's episode is Batgirl Returns. How you doing today, sir?
I see. When they have a woman character be part of the show again, that's when they decide to cancel it. Okay, I see. Not sexist at all. Stupid patriarchy.
It's like if we're gonna go out on a bad note, this is them talking to me. But as I said, this episode is Batgirl Returns is the 85th episode produced and the 78th episode to air, having it air on my birthday November 12th, 1994. So but I don't necessarily remember this birthday specifically. Which, it doesn't sound good because I didn't stick out, but I don't know. Do you remember what you were doing November 12th, 1994?
No, no idea. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw this episode. I mean it was an interesting kind of, little leaflet at the end of the original series run, as we'll kind of get into. But yeah, I was a little surprised at like realizing this is only one of three episodes of Batgirl in the original show. So yeah, I was it was good to at least give her like at least one kind of final shot before the
Yeah,
series got a revamp. But
yeah, I was trying to remember like how many other episodes she was in. Yeah, but this episode is written by Michael Reeves and Bryn Stevens and directed by Dan Ariba. So it's like the other two episodes that she had, was it like a two-parter or was it two separate episodes?
she was in Shadow of the Bat, which was a two-parter, and I feel like Barbara Gordon had appeared a couple. Yeah, she did. She appeared a couple times. Like she was in Heart of Steel, but she wasn't Batgirl yet. So yeah, no, this is like, I mean, if you
But
want to talk Batgirl specifically, this is only her
yeah,
third.
okay. Yeah, because I couldn't remember. Like I knew it wasn't that very many, but I couldn't remember specifically.
Yep.
But yeah, this like it starts off like at the museum, right?
Well,
Where
it starts off, yeah, it's like a kind of like a robbery where I think like there's like, you know, Penguin, Joker, and
oh yeah, that's right.
Two-Face.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. And like the three of them are like it's like teaming up or whatever. Yeah, then is it like Batman that shows up initially, or is it Batgirl?
I can't remember who showed up first, but basically Batman and Batgirl kind of show up, and they Batgirl kind of takes quick care of them, and then there's like a moment where they just kind of like look at each other and like, like just getting closer and closer and closer, and then all of a sudden you hear Dick's voice over Batgirl or Batman's, where he's going like Barbara.
Oh, nightmare! Right, yeah, hearing Robin's voice in your brain in a dream.
And this is where I would like to specifically say, Bruce Timm, stop trying to ship Batman and Batgirl. Thank you that Batman the Killing Joke movie is not canon to this universe.
Just like Jim Gordon, the rest of us I wouldn't approve either.
No. Yeah, so I think like what happens? He says pretty much like like you've been like working too hard, like you're studying because yeah, like they're both in college. And I remind you that at this point, neither of them know who the other is in terms of
Yeah,
like superhero identity.
yeah. That's another thing I was trying to remember if they were outed to each other as Robin and or Batgirl, but I guess
Yeah.
yeah.
No, they haven't figured that out yet because that'll become a big, big part when we get to the revamp series.
Yeah.
And she says like like I've been studying, but like I got like a big test I gotta kind of work through. So it's gonna be a bit of a long night, but he's like, okay, well, we had whatever. And yeah, she'd been dreaming about this like Jade Cat statue, which I'm like, does she have clairvoyance, or did she already read about this earlier and like it's in her subconscious because she sees a newspaper talk about that exact same statue?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, like, and they said that it gets like shoved under her door. So, do you think that was regular delivery, or was it like Catwoman, fucking being like getting her to
But
show
then
up?
Catwoman would have to know who Batgirl is, which I mean,
Well, like I was saying, I think that like later on, it isn't it kind of hinted that she
I
kind of do know.
guess I don't know. Like that's the tricky thing here is like sometimes they'll kind of like wink at that, and then sometimes they'll kind of be like, oh, it's just coincidence and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's for the sake of the story.
because like aren't usual to like new paper delivery is just like throwing at the door, you just go thunk and like goes to and then like hits the ground so you know it's there
Yeah.
instead of being like shut up to the door unless you have like an actual mail slot like in the door sort of thing.
Well, that and like newspapers are pretty thick and
Yeah,
usually
that's what I'm
can't
saying.
fit underneath the door.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why it kind of not when I was thinking about it, like it seemed kind of weird that it was being like actually like forced under the door. Yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like this priceless like jade cat statue or something. It is like on display and like so I think she's like, huh, maybe I'll have an excuse to look into this statue and in or maybe I'll have an excuse to take a break is pretty much what she says.
and do you think she's like been like out like semi-regularly like on patrol as Batgirl, or do you think this was an excuse to go out as Batgirl? Because
Like it
you're
was an
like,
excuse.
I'd be like, hey, I was dreaming about this, so might as well go out anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it is an excuse because yeah, like I don't know. It seems a little more reactionary than anything, like not something like that was, in like the forefront of her thinking. But yeah, like and the fact that this is also like it's at the university, the university that she goes to, and yeah, it was just kind of like okay, so like the dots are kind of aligning in her direction. So
Yeah, and too, and I was thinking like once they get to the museum, I was thinking that it's been a while since we've had like a museum heist.
yeah, well, and also like Catwoman's kind of ever since what was the last time she showed up? Was it the Scarface episode?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, so like by then everybody knows who she is, and has basically been like, I'm a kind of get back into my own life of crime. I'm assuming she did it for a while outside of Gotham just to kind of keep herself afloat, but now it's kind of well, I mean, there's only so many places I want to go to. Plus, you never know who might show up in tall, dark, and handsome variety. So yeah, so I think like Batgirl goes to like keep an eye on this statue, and oh, the statue's been stolen. That was it, right? Like
oh yeah,
it
yeah,
already
yeah,
been
yeah, yeah,
stolen.
yeah. Because she gets there and like I guess like the top of the museum and like the lock's been like acided through, so
Yeah.
she goes in and then like looks down and like the it's already gone, and then that's when Catwoman shows up or whatever, and then she's like initially she's like it was you, and then almost right away figures out or like has the feeling that it wasn't her.
Hmm.
And then I think that's when like Robin shows up, right?
Yeah, you guys are gonna notice Batman's not in this episode a lot. Yeah, because Robin's like there to kind of like give a bit of backup support.
Uh,
And yeah, like
uh,
again, like they don't know
uh,
who each other's superhero identities are.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
just kind of
yeah,
there by
and,
happenstance.
and it's assumed, and he assumes that she's Batgirls, or I was gonna say she, but we might as well because there's two she's there. Might as well actually say names. He figures that he's there to back up Batgirl because he figures because it's a museum, needs Catwoman stole something or whatever, or doesn't even know it's the Jade Cat. and basically, yeah, there's a little almost fight, and then like Catwoman disappears, and then like oh yeah, they get to like the top of the museum, and they like she sends off like little like net and
Oh
little
yeah.
balls or whatever, and they and actually and Fred somehow like it feels like a rookie move by on Robin's and got in cop of that, and then like Batgirl comes up and is like, "Yeah, I was trying to tell you that it wasn't her." And he's like, "How did you know?" He's like, "Well, I just kind of have the woman's intuition, I guess." It was,
Yeah.
yeah, and then I think the next scene is like when it was at Barbara was at the college, and then like Selena shows up. So yeah, so this is like this part where I was thinking that like she
Oh right. Yeah.
they like it's pretty clear that they that she knows who Batgirl is. So
Well, I
that's
think yeah, she kind of
it's
would have to, I guess.
oh yeah, because the scene doesn't make sense otherwise, I feel.
Which really makes Dick look like a bit of a meathead in the scope of things, considering he's into, Barbara, like as like a,
Well, yeah, like
as an on again, off again girlfriend, and he sees Batgirl like, oh, I don't know, they're doing
wait,
that for
wait,
baby to me.
yeah, wait, is it this version that Batman does know and hasn't told Robin, or does Batman know either?
I don't
I can't remember.
remember. I feel like the
Okay.
closer we get to that famous episode where everything kind of, hits the fan, that we'll have more clarification on that. It wouldn't shock me if Bruce already knows, but Robin, of all people, is kind of like, I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Like, I get you're not as much of a detective as Batman and
Yeah,
that regard, but
yeah, because
you're it's kind of obvious when you're kind of putting them side by side.
it reminds me of that one Batman where like it's in that whatever Justice League show or movie or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, should we like tell each other who's our secret entities are?" And Bruce is like, uh, Wally West, whomever, Bruce Wayne. And he takes off his scowl and he's like, "Oh, okay." Or like, or who's the second name? I think it was, or was it like Oliver
Wally West, Clark Kent, Bruce
right.
Wayne.
Oh, okay, Clark. Yeah, okay, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like that, and he's like, "Oh, never mind."
yeah. Like Flash was also disappointed because he's like, "Well, I definitely know who Bruce Wayne is. Clark Kent, I might have read in the newspaper. I'm just poor Wally West."
I know that's why I always laugh at like that. I think that episode of whatever where like Lex and Wally end up like switching bodies or whatever.
Hmm.
And Lex and Wally's body. He's like, okay, might as well go figure out who this is, and takes off the goes in the like the bathroom or whatever with his mirror, and takes off the mask, and he's like, I have no idea who this is.
Well, that and also like doesn't matter even if he did because like would Lex be able to capture the Flash?
like as I say, he was like, he's like they were mind switched, though they were like
Yeah,
in. Yeah, so he was, yeah. So like, and plus, yeah, like if it was like Bruce Wayne or something like that, if you switch with like Batman's body, he'd be like, oh, it's Bruce, and then I'd be like, I know who that is, and be able to do otherwise. But yeah, he was just some guy, so he's like shit.
yeah. So as you had mentioned, yeah. So basically, she's like it. She's coming from gymnastics or like a gym session, and on the bulletin board, there's like a thing. It's like a
Yeah,
cat shaped card or something. It basically says like because she
and
referred to Batgirl as like a rat with wings. So it's like basically identifying her.
no, like a mouse with wings, yeah,
Mouse with wings. That's right.
because I was thinking I think they went out of the way to not say rat, but they said that at the end of the episode.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, so Batgirl's like, all right, I'll play along. So she gets told like in the like card where to meet her that night. So she comes dressed as Batgirl, and they basically have like a conversation where she says like it wasn't me, I wasn't the person responsible, and she says it's not my style. The whole robbery thing. I don't use acid. I use the claws.
Real acid. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
Almost cut me on the count.
I was gonna say that. I was like, it wasn't me.
I don't know. I was trying to figure out a way to do that. Then I heard the acid thing, so and I was like, I know that quote at least, yeah. So,
There you go. We got there in the end. So it basically says, I forget. They decide to team up to look into it. And what did she say to Catwoman? She basically said, "Oh, I'll agree to work with you on the condition that if you're lying, you'll give yourself up to the cops." And it's like, okay. I mean, like, why would she agree to that if she wasn't going to lie?
but
Like,
or follow, or if she is lying, she could just lie again to say and for like
yeah,
yes and like not follow through
yeah.
and
If
be
you
like see
lied
ya after.
once, why would you not lie again? Like, yeah, you're relying on the honor system with a
Yeah,
thief
yeah, very, very trustworthy there, Batgirl.
who
There,
has
Barbara.
absolutely nothing to lose if she goes whatever.
And
It
yeah,
would have
and
to be Batgirl. Not to say that Batgirl's not smart. She's not used to these kinds of like work dynamics. And
imagine
as
all of them getting called back into the office,
yeah.
which
Well,
is
speaking of,
actually, which I think I just saw like the other day is which is happening at work. So I haven't gone
oh
to,
yeah.
so I'll be like finally be seeing my boss on the like more often now.
Well,
Because
that's the
he,
thing. It's like you go into the office because like you have to,
yeah,
but like
yeah,
it's
so
everybody else who has to
I
be
know,
there.
yeah. So like, yeah, and then like he was only there like on the Wednesdays like 7 to 3, and like how with my schedule worked, I was like no, that was like the one time I was never there.
Mm.
It was like the one day of the week he was. So you don't remember the last time I saw him. So
You're gonna know now.
yeah. So by like I think it was by October, I think it was so.
There you go.
And then that'll be like probably fine. Fine after like almost. I saw October would be like 6 years going into my seventh year. So we finally be like meeting like some of my coworkers I've gotten emails from for like last like 5 years, 5 or
That's
6 years.
the funny thing with like work dynamics is like you will hear somebody's name for years in like they're like usually like important to like your like your job or like like people that you need to get into contact with, and you won't see their face or have a face to the name until years later. Like there's people who I know like from like 10 years on, and it's like, oh, you're that guy.
Or like when the other three people got hired for the new channels last October, they were like we were in like a small little meeting with the four of us, and he was one guy was like, oh yeah, like maybe at one point we'll got to meet the person who like does the scheduling and stuff. And I was like, well, that would be good because I even haven't met her yet. I've been here for like yeah, 4+ years at this point. And then my boss turned to me, he's like, you haven't met her yet? I'm like, no, she hasn't been in the office, man. Like you're, I think I'm going to have to cut this part out. Like, hey, you've barely ever been here, boss. Let alone her. I'm getting like emails from her all the time, but like because I was part time and that's who like who. So I was like, I know her, but I've never actually met her yet.
What if one of these people that we're emailing is just Chat GPT? It's like a mix between Chat GPT and Shawshank Redemption. Like this person only exists in like the ether. So Batgirl's kind of making her like kind of partnership with Catwoman. Robin's kind of in charge of the Batcave, and Bruce is in Paris working, and basically he's going like, "So how are things going over there?" It's like, "Oh no, they're fine." It's like, like you're throwing any parties, any keggers, or anything like that. And he's like, "No, no, hey, we guys put the keg down." Like
Only a slight rave in the Batcave.
that's good. Bat rave. It's a foam party.
So as long as it's not a white party.
Yeah. So I forget. Why did he say? what he was talking about? Like, oh yeah, he's basically like on a business trip, and
Yeah,
he's just like, I couldn't give a shit what you guys were doing over there. Like,
he's like, yeah, just watch out for Catwoman because she's like play like mind games or whatever. So just keep an eye on that Batgirl.
oh yeah,
Was
I guess he did say that.
was like what was like basically the gist of for the conversation and to be like why Bruce isn't Bruce slash Batman isn't in this episode really. Just be like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm like not I'm not in the country, so that's why
This is
I
what
couldn't
I
be
don't
bothered.
understand is like, I mean, obviously, like, there's a certain limit as to when the contract is like ended in terms of like how many episodes they get. And yeah, we got Sub-Zero after this, and then the revamp, which I think is like a year or two after like this
97, so
series.
3 years, three
Yeah,
years.
3 years. Okay. Yeah, so it's like this is how you're gonna end the show? Like
It says that this says the it was the one of the 85th produced, but it was the 78th air, so there were like still like
I guess yeah, you can choose
like
which ones you want to air.
well yeah because there were like 6 or 7 episodes aired after this one, right?
Right. Okay.
So so
It just feels like we kind of petered off in of like ideas because like this episode's all right. It's just I don't know. It's just like yeah, like you know,
well also too yeah too I feel it's probably one of those things too where they're
it
probably
feels
like
tacked on.
I know it's like it could have just been like yeah, expecting to be a sign out for another episode for another season and it didn't or whatever sort of things too. So yeah, no, so it just so I felt it might have just been like yeah, it may have been like a bit of a filler episode, yeah, but expecting to yeah, go longer and
Mhm.
just didn't get picked up.
So I think Batgirl and Catwoman decide they're gonna look into like you know the some of her like contacts and like who is like some of the likely people who could have like pulled off this job. It's like so you're gonna talk to anybody who's involved with acid like. Like, well, you're gonna have to separate those who are involved in acid and those involved in acid, if you know what I mean. Because they go to the stack deck, which I believe this is where they had the poker game in the Almost Got Him episode.
Yeah, and that's where they were, yeah, yeah, where they both walk in, and yeah, and then as I said, that just with like the Condiment King episode, like yeah, it took them a minute to clue in that like two costumed like one like anti-hero and one I guess regular hero will come in and then they start like whistling at them and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, literally catcalling.
Yeah, at least one of them is like probably like one of the people the people you probably like shouldn't be catcalling. No
Yeah,
pun intended, and no pun intended as well.
and so they're going through like some of the people there, and then they find this one guy when they're asking around. This one guy books it. This like kind of like gremlin looking dude who we find out is called the Chemist. Do you know who the Chemist is based on in terms of appearance?
Yeah.
Dr. Savannah.
Dr. Savannah. Oh yeah, because I know they're there to talk to him, and then I think like they once they he sees it, yeah is when he gets spooked, and like because he answers 2 questions, and then he's like oh, and then he takes off, yeah.
That was it. Yeah, yeah. He
Yeah.
like just kind of like I'm
Yeah,
out. Like
because that's what tips Catwoman off to say that like he like figures that he probably knows what's up with it. Yeah,
yeah. And I think like a fight starts in the bar, and like you know they manage to kind of like you know hold their own, and then like kind of
I think
corner the chemist.
yeah, I think like Robin shows up too. I think right,
Did Robin show up?
or does he show up later?
That's a good question. Let's see. He might show up later because like it as in my notes in the recap I don't have it, but yeah, like he does kind of show up for like the final act because um when Catwoman's like interrogating the chemist, she's saying like you're like the only person who could like pull off something like this. Is like the only person who could use acid. Like okay, um, all right, but whatever. You're the career criminal. I guess you would know. Um, so. Uh, basically it connects her to realizing like the person behind it that would have hired him is Daggett, Roland Daggett.
Roland, dang it.
Now, when's the last time that we saw Daggett? Because like Daggett's had like kind of sporadic episodes. Like they may mention here of like the Clayface episode. Um, was it the Clayface one? No.
Oh yeah, yeah, because yeah, because they while they're there, yeah, they make mention that that was where the that stuff was, and that's yeah, it was like the also the place where they made the whatever that made her
Oh,
Catwoman and her cat sick or
yes, it
whatever.
was Cat Scratch Fever. That was the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
time we saw him.
or whatever the fuck that was. Yeah, the or what that. Yeah,
Right, when he made super rabies.
yeah, okay, that's it. Or yeah, right.
Yeah, because even when Catwoman kind of says like like he's an old friend of mine, it's like the first thing that came to my mind is like, when did you meet Daggett? And then I was like, oh yeah, for like a hot minute. And I mean, it was a hot minute because like you were literally burning up, but yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, I guess because like even later on where she corners him, she's like, this is for making me sick, like literally, infecting me. It's like he also kidnapped your cat. I
Or
think that would be the thing you'd be pissed off
or
about.
like yeah, almost killed the cat as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and this is where it kind of gets funny because they break into yeah, the place where like he was making the Renew in this old factory. Like basically like it's all but abandoned. And yeah. So she realizes like he's the one who stole the cat, and she's like, "Why would you do it?" And he's like, "Don't you understand? Ever since like all the things that Batman's been doing to me, like I'm broke. I stole the. I think that the statue is worth. It can't be worth more than what $100,000.
Or something into like, and doesn't he say like at first he says like because I know this I know you would have taken it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so basically he's like, you're gonna be the
yeah,
red
because
herring, the
yeah, because
patsy.
it yeah, whatever, yeah, so yeah, because like yeah, he said like because the last time I ran to Batman, like the court fees bankrupted me, so I need
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
so I need I need some money to run away and start somewhere else.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, like this is like how bad is this guy even at white collar crime? Because like you of all people, like how many like failed business people can still get like stupid amounts of loans? Like you don't have money in the Canary Islands or something, like
Well, so I said like that it all went up into like to buy off all the people and to get off on the whatever the fucking scheme you did last time.
dang it, I'm all out of bribe money. What about your emergency bribe money? No, I use that to bribe the other guy. Yeah, so he says this was like the most likely thing I could do to have like Batman or whoever think it's you, and while everybody's guessing, like I've sell it on the black market and like make a killing. And it's like, I mean, I guess like what are they gonna do? Like give it like a cashier's check? Or are they gonna give you like briefcase full of money? Like, are they gonna go the bail bond or bearer bond shit avenue?
Is
Like,
that they but they got some bat coin going on.
yeah, Alfred, you're not gonna believe this. Are you sitting down? You made a coin that doesn't exist, and it will make you money. I
They call
see.
it a pump and dump.
It sounds a lot more like dump, sir.
No, like no, like it's not sexual offered.
I mean, it's a little bit, but
It just sounds like that
yeah,
to make it sound not to make it sound cool and not dumb.
yeah. So, like a fight starts out between with Batgirl, Catwoman, and Dagon and his thugs, and this is where like they're kind of tossing over like the what looks like Ace chemicals. It very well might be Ace chemicals for all we know. Um, and Catwoman, I think Catwoman like basically says, like this is for like getting this is for what you've done to me. I'm gonna like throw you into the chemical that like you're like so fond of like profiting and like destroying people's lives with. And I love the exchange of Batgirl as she sees Catwoman's about to like throw him into the vat, basically saying, "Hey, you promised that you wouldn't do something like this." And Catwoman literally says, "Oh, grow up. We can't all be the police commissioner's daughter." Like, I'm not. I'm not. And I think that's when, right before, like, you know, Catwoman's about to turn Daggett into like the Joker of capitalism. Robin shows up and like they manage to like save him and like kind of overpower. Like they basically get like Daggett arrested and what's the arrangement that they make with Catwoman? They basically say like like yeah, I guess you're gonna have to come along quietly. Come and as these two cops have come in like their cop car, she's like, oh, okay, a deal's a deal, like, and by the way, like, she's not a part of this, officer, like
Oh yeah, because
she's
I was like, there was to like let the police take you or whatever. So they goes in the car, and then you like it goes like down the street, and then you
yeah.
just see like the two cops get fucking like booted out of the car, and she was just like, "Oh, you guys, I said I agreed to let the cops take me, but I didn't say for how
Yeah,
long
they
or
took me
whatever."
30 feet. Like, yeah, and like, of course, makes like a quick escape, and like, Batgirl's kind of like, oh, darn, like, like, what did you expect?
Like, so long, suckers.
Yeah, it's like, well, my first assignment on my own, and yeah, it's pretty much exactly as you can think it would happen. It's like,
So yeah, so that is the end of Batman, yeah, the animated series proper. So what would you give this episode out of five stolen Jade Cats?
I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5. I thought it was a decent episode. I mean, I thought like it was kind of your standard like kind of hero team villain team up. And it was nice to see like Batgirl finally get another episode or before kind of moving into the new series. And yeah, I mean, I feel like it could have used a little bit more substance to the story, but otherwise, no, it was a good episode. How about you?
I guess a 3 out of 5 as well. Like it was, like I said, like, as you said, like it is a decent episode, but as also what you were saying earlier in the episode, that was a bit of an odd episode to end on. Like that, like Aaron was, even though it wasn't the last episode produced, but they still decided to air it last, which is not a choice. But as I said, like either way, like yeah, you gotta have an episode to end on anyway. So, but it was a decent enough episode. They might as well have yeah the two add to the women female characters in the series and actually be able to have them pass the Bechdel test. So,
The
which is
Batgirl
always,
test.
which is always good. So, but yeah, so I think I'll give it a 3 out of 5 as well. But as we said, that is the end of the Batman the Animated Series proper, like end of season 2. Next week's episode will be Batman and Mr. Freeze colon Sub-Zero, which is like a Mr. Freeze movie, which will have Tracy from Off My Shelf joining us for that one. So stay tuned for that. And then we'll be on to season 3. Well, so if you've been following along with the DVD or the Blu-ray thing, or like if you're in Canada, is on Amazon, like as season 3 is like the Batman the the new Batman Adventures, I think is what it's technically called, right?
I
I think.
believe so,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that joined us. And I didn't realize that was like a series until I bought the Blu-ray series of this, and I saw that it was like season three of that, and I'm like, oh, so it'd be interesting because I haven't seen any of these episodes. I think there's like what 20 of them, like.
Uh 20 to 30. Yeah.
So this will prove interesting because I haven't seen any of these. So it'll be and I imagine it's Kevin Conroy voicing Batman again, or still in this
No,
series.
it's George Clooney.
Yeah, so yeah, well, yeah, I guess good for him. So he actually got to do some good Batmaning then. And I still say like he always like apologizes for that movie, but like he didn't like write slash direct slash produce that movie. So like he got the blame for it being bad, but it wasn't his fault.
I also love like he acts like it's my cross to bear, like I
Yeah.
ruined Batman. It's like,
Well,
okay, settle down there, martyr. Like,
yeah, no, no. I guess it's like yeah, you gotta deal with humor for instead of just like having like people like shit on you for like 20 years or whatever. So I guess that's like it's a good like defense instead of being everyone be like fuck you, you ruined it or whatever.
yeah.
Then sort of thing. Might as well like make jokes of it. But I said like yeah, he was a face of the movie, but it wasn't his fault. The movie was bad.
Unless he made like a handshake agreement with Joel Schumacher. It's like, so
Yeah,
we're gonna agree you're gonna take the fall for this, right? Like,
like he wasn't like he didn't try to pull like a Dwayne like the Rock with Black Adam and try to like control everything from like behind the scenes or whatever. He was just like the face of the movie and like hey sort of thing. So
the
that's just
hierarchy of the Burton Schumacher universe is
it's
about to
weird.
change. It's about to change, all right. It's about to crash into the
Yeah,
freaking ground.
because they oh yeah, because that was the last of the Schumacher the to Burton Schumacher stuff, and then and then. But as I said, I still say it wasn't his fault. So you shouldn't have had to keep on defending it. But on the other hand, I'm still pissed that was my first Batman movie in the theater.
We all have life choices we regret.
I was a teenager at the time. I didn't know better. Like I didn't know that how bad the previews were. Like if I like looking back and stuff at it now, like yeah, I should have known better. But anyway, as I said, that is the episode for this week. So, thanks for joining us at the Back Cave to talk about Batman the animated series. As I said, next week's episode is Batman Mr. Free Sub-Zero. You can follow us on Twitter/X at Beyond Backcast, on Twitter, or sorry, on Instagram, sorry, or so Twitter at Beyond the Backcast, and we're on a YouTube now at youtube.com/ at Beyond the Backcast. Give us a rate, review, subscribe there, and or wherever you find your podcast, or we found us here, or you listen to them, then that'll help us out. And where can we find you on the internet, Brayden?
You can follow my podcast, Fandom and Folklore, where we talk about fantasy movies and TV shows and the fandoms that follow them. Currently doing a Lord of the Rings marathon of the Peter Jackson trilogy. And if you want to find out more of this show, go to our Instagram, Beyond the Batcast, and you can click on our link tree and go to the Batcave, where we have a discourse on all sorts of Batman discussions.
Okay, and too, I keep on forgetting, we are, check us out on Twitch as well, twitch.tv/ Beyond the Backcast, and I'll be sporadically playing, playing through the Arkham series games on my PC, and I've had a few streams of Arkham Asylum already, and you can watch me be bad at that game, because it's been like 10 years since I've gone, at least 10 years since I've gone through that game properly. So, and I got stuck on the thing, and I was like, I can't remember how to do this shit, and kept on falling into like some gas and like coughing, and so I was like, this is why I shouldn't be broadcasting me being playing video games because I'm bad sometimes. But anyway, as I said, thanks for joining. That is the thing. Fuck. If I could talk, I would say thanks for joining us in the Batcave to talk about Batman the animated series at Beyond the Backcast. Goodbye, good chums. Kapow.